All right, y'all. We are live on this cloudy Monday morning. It's a little bit windier, a little bit colder. The roosters are out there doing their rooster thing, cock-a-doodle-doo and all that stuff. So we have a lot to talk about in this video, guys, in this live stream, because over the weekend we did see a lot of volatility in the markets, and so I want to lay out my levels a little bit, discuss my general overview of how I plan to trade this, and answer some questions that you might have. So stay tuned. We will get into this soon. May God bless all of you. All right, y'all. Well, we are live. We are officially live. And yes, may God bless all of you, all 192 of you who are in the chat. All 192 of you who are in this chat right now. Web TV, shout out to you, says Bitcoin to 40K. We shall see. Raphael, shout out to you, my brother. Says thanks for taking so much time for us. Absolutely. SR is waiting for my analysis. SR, weren't you just in the VIP stream, bro? Weren't you just in the VIP stream? Shout out to Phil, who says, I dig your gig, Jason. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. Ethereum just hit 2,500. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Yes, so as we can see, Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have just had quite a substantial pump to the upside. And Ethereum is currently, right now, breaking out of this resistance. This resistance that we were unable to break above for the past few hours, right? We're getting this candle to the upside. Bitcoin struggling to break above this resistance that we have right at about $38,000. But looking, like we could get a nice tight trigger wave on the 24-minute right here. Give us a nice little boost. We'll have to wait and see what happens. As many of you guys know, personally, I don't usually like to trade the breakouts of things unless there's a lot of confirmation. I find I have better success longing supports and shorting resistances rather than trying to long resistances and short the supports. But yeah, so let's get into this, guys. Let us get into it. Let me drop into the chat, make sure everything's good, if you guys can hear me. As usual, guys, if we can get this video up to 1,000 likes, I will give away the course for free. If we can get this video up to 3,000 likes, I will give away 0.1 Bitcoin. So tell your kids, tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your wife's friends, and everyone you know. Hey, go check out Jason Casper's TA video. Go like the video. He's going to give away 0.1 BTC. Absolutely. Tom Bots, that 5% code is not for the course, bro. It's for Market Cipher. The code for the course is in the description of this video. You can get a 7% discount in the description of this video, but probably stay tuned. I will give away probably a better discount than that. Shout out to TJB Web Media, who thanks me for the great TA. TJB Web Media, thank you for the great web media there. God bless you. God bless you. Will Jones, shout out to Will Jones. All right, guys, so let's take a look here. Currently, these are my trades, okay? I am still short on Bitcoin and Ethereum because I am not convinced that we have hit the bottom. However, I am long on Bitcoin, up 155%. long from 32K, already took 50% of the profit out of the trade. Just going to let the rest ride here, guys. But this is, as we can see, a pretty nice long. I'm very curious to see what Bitcoin does here up against this resistance. Are we going to be able to print this trigger wave on the 24-minute and get an explosion out of this, what looks to be like a bull flag type thing forming right here? You know, potentially. You know, I mean, the 3 minutes not looking that promising. But it is nice to see that we have formed a higher high on this lower time frame. Okay, let us get into this. So, the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Let me turn off some of these lines for us, guys. Let me turn off some of these lines. Yeah, so the daily time frame, here we are for Bitcoin. As you can see, we have been right on this level of support since the 19th of May. Since the 19th of May, we have been on this level of support at $35,000. We have been unable to really break below this. Yeah, you could say we had a daily candle close below it, but we came right back up above it. So really, we have been trading within this range right here, the high being the January high and the low being around 30K. And if we zoom out, we can see that it's the same exact range that we were trading in back in January. So until we're able to come above 42K or drop below 29.8 or whatever it is, we should really just be keeping our focus in this general area, because the best trades we're going to find are shorts off these resistances and longs off of these supports. You know, right now we're coming up to some resistances. What is going to happen as we are coming to this resistance? Well, you know, usually when we're getting a resistance, it means that we're going to get some kind of a rejection, or at least some kind of a hesitation here. Of course, there's the potential that we could break out of this, and if we do, then I would be looking for us to come to a higher place. They're looking for a short off the top of here. So a lot of people always ask me, they're like, hey, Jason, how do you get these levels? How do you get these levels? And how do you know where to enter a trade? Wow, look at this, guys. Let's take a look here. This is looking pretty nice, like we are really are going to get a move to the upside if we can get this green dot in the 24-minute. And Ethereum also, you know, breaking out of this resistance. Absolutely. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. X Frozen says, when will you be convinced that this was a dip at 31K? I will be convinced that this was a dip when the 4-hour time frame starts giving us, well, this is Ethereum. Let's go to Bitcoin. When the 4-hour time frame starts giving us higher highs, right? So when we break above this resistance here, and especially if we were breaking above 42K, if we break above 42K, I will become much more bullish on Bitcoin and say that yes, this was just a dip, and we've bottomed out here, and now we're going to start making our way up. But nobody can ignore the fact that we are in a downtrend, and if we're in a downtrend, the trend is your friend. So you should be trading the trend. You shouldn't be looking to, you know, expect the price to reach new all-time highs if we're in a downtrend. You need to wait for trend confirmation. Right now, we can see that it's very possible that we are going to break this resistance and this resistance right here, which would then reverse the trend, right? If we can come up and if we start printing, you know, the higher highs, the higher lows, the higher highs and higher lows, then yeah, that's very bullish. That's very bullish. Somebody says a large W bottom, just waiting for money flow. Yeah, I mean, that's something else to keep in mind. You know, right now on the daily time frame, what we see is we've printed a bottom on the daily time frame. And what we really need to see is the money flow starting to come back in. We need to see money coming back into the Bitcoin asset. Let's check out Ethereum here real quick. Ethereum looking very nice on the daily. We'll get into that in a second. But if we can start to see the money flow on the daily time frame curving back up into the green, okay, that is very bullish, because remember, the money flow is the water coming into the garden, which causes the price to grow, just like water causes plants to grow. The money flow causes the asset to become higher in price, right? Because if money's coming into an asset, it's going to increase in value. We can see that back here when we start to get that money flow crossover back in July, right? What happens? Boom, we start to come up massively. And so that same thing could happen here. When we go to the 12-hour time frame, we can see that we are starting to see money flow curve to the upside. We're starting to see momentum come to the upside a little bit on the 12-hour. And on the 8-hour, we see the same thing. We see the same thing. So yes, we have broken above this trend line that we were unable to trade above since the 12th of May. This trend line right here was acting as our resistance. And now that we've come above it, you know, we're in a very, what I would say, a very critical place right here, okay? If we are able to come above these resistances, that is going to be bullish. But if not, and if we get rejected, then I do expect us to come back down to some lower levels. So it's very important that we understand how to mark these levels and how to come up with a plan for trading. Yeah, let me pop into the chat for a second here, guys, because people are saying some interesting things. Yeah, let's get this video some likes, guys, so I can give away the course for free. Okay. Okay. All right, everything is cool in here. All right, so how are we going to trade Bitcoin? How are we going to trade Bitcoin if we don't know really what is going to happen in the future? The best thing you can do is come up with a plan and stick to your plan. That is the best thing you can do if you are looking to make money trading Bitcoin. And the way you're going to do that is you will come to a chart, you will come to a blank chart, and you will erase everything on your chart. You know, that's what I'd like to do. Shout out to Andrew Jacobson, who says how to set a long above the current price so I can take advantage on the confirmed breakout. You just do that by setting a conditional order in Bybit, Andrew Jacobson. In Bybit, you set a conditional order at the price you want to buy at. What you're going to do is you're going to come to a blank chart of Bitcoin, okay? And you're going to come up with a plan on how to enter trades. Where are you going to long? Where are you going to short? If in these volatile markets, right, where we're basically trading kind of sideways, right, coming down in general, but trading sideways, it's very easy for people to get sliced up trading these markets. It's extremely easy to get sliced up. You might say, okay, let's go long. You see prices going up a little bit, go long, up, now price comes down a little bit. You might say, okay, go short, up, price comes back up a little bit. Okay, go long, up, price comes down. You are going to get sliced up. What you need to do is you need to have a very clear and concise plan on how to trade any asset, but especially Bitcoin during these times. And what I like to do, and my personal style, is I like to do some top-down analysis where I'm just marking out basic levels of support and resistance, and then I come down to the indicator Market Cipher. And Market Cipher is a very powerful tool because it will tell you exactly what is happening to the asset. It will tell you if money is coming into the asset. It will tell you if money is going out of the asset. It will even tell you what direction the price is about to go in before it goes in that direction. And the way it does that is by forming divergences, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But let's say you don't have any plan for trading right now. You're going to pull up a blank chart, you're going to pull up the daily time frame, and what you're going to do is you are just going to look starting over at the left of the chart, and you're going to find areas where price historically has found a sticking point, and you're going to make a horizontal line there. So I can see, right here, down here at this level on the daily time frame, that price has found a sticking point right here. In fact, if we just draw a horizontal line here, we can see that this area was acting as our support, our support, our support, our support. And if anybody's unfamiliar with what support means, support is just a floor that price has a hard time breaking below. And the reason it becomes a support is because if price is trading along a certain level for a certain amount of time, it means there's a lot of buying and selling going on in the market at the same time. There's a lot of liquidity in the market where people are buying and selling. And so if price is trading along a certain line for a certain period of time, the market will remember this area, and when price retraces, it will come back inevitably to those areas so that large buy and sell orders can get filled again. And so we call the line that price cannot break below the support, and if price cannot break above a line, we call that the resistance. And so you're going to come to your daily time frame, and you're simply just going to mark those areas of support and resistance. It's not too difficult to do. It's really not too difficult to do. You just come over, look at the candles, and draw lines where you see price is rejecting off resistance here, acting as support, support, and then resistance again, resistance again. You're just going to come in here and make these levels. It's not too difficult. It's really not. Other levels you are going to pay close attention to are like all-time highs, like wicks and stuff like this. So we could see like right here back in January, we had this all-time high, this high. You would make a level there. And I like to change the color so that I know what the line is talking about. So, these yellow lines would be our daily support levels. This orange line would be the all-time high of January. So I would come in here and just give it a little label, all-time high of January. And these yellow levels, I would just give them, daily support, daily support, daily support. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm marking these levels back here in the month of January. And also, I think it's important to note that this was the low of January. The low of January. And what this does is this gives you a market structure. This is giving you market structure. And it's actually outlining for us a range, a trading range in which Bitcoin was bound to for a month. And the way price action tends to work is if you are trading in a certain range, like you were right here, and then something happens to break us out of that range, like Elon Musk sends us to the moon with one massive tweet, and we end up trading in another range up here. Right? We end up trading now in this range up here, for the most part, right? If we lose this upper range, it's very likely that we will come back down and trade in the lower range, the one that we were trading in back in January. And we can see that happening right now, where price is trading within the same exact range that it was trading in back in January. Okay, we've lost this upper range. Now we're trading back in this lower range. And what we can do is we can take the levels that we found in January, and we can see that these levels are very, very respected all the way here in the month of May. And the reason for that is because, like I said, the market will remember that there was a lot of liquidity here. And that liquidity, the price will retrace those areas so that buy and sell orders can be filled. And look at what happens. Every time we come down to this support, this is a support that we marked out in the month of January. And every time we come down here, what happens? We get a bounce off of it. We get a bounce off of it. We get a bounce off of it. That's just how it works. And so when we have this market structure, what we can do is we can come up with a plan, and we can say, okay, if price comes up to one of these resistances, I will look to enter a short position. And if price comes down to one of these supports, I will look to enter a long position. And when we have this plan in place, we're not just going to automatically long and short when we get to one of these levels. We're actually going to look at the indicator Market Cipher to give us Confluence. And what I'm doing right here is I'm literally just outlining such a basic, simple strategy that you can use to trade, especially when the price is trading sideways like this. It's very simple. You don't need to know advanced technical analysis. All you need to do is to be able to look at a chart, mark out some places where price has found a sticking point, and then take a look at Market Cipher. Take a look at Market Cipher. Let's now, for example, look at what was happening when we were coming down to some of these supports or when we were coming up to some of these resistances. I'm going to go ahead and make a circle right here as we're coming up to this resistance. Okay, what was happening on Market Cipher on the lower time frames? Let's go back in time and take a look. And remember, as traders, guys, the price of Bitcoin, it doesn't matter to us because we're making money on the way up and we're making money on the way down. Of course, our HODL portfolios are hurting, right? Our HODL portfolios are indeed hurting. But let's take a look at what happens, on Market Cipher when we're coming up to the resistance right here. We're coming up to the resistance for the first time, okay? We already marked it out as a resistance, right? We marked it out as a resistance back in January. So when price comes up to this level, we're getting very interested to trade because from the month of January, we knew that $42,000 was a very significant level. Now, when we see price coming up to that level, what we're going to do is we are going to say, okay, I know price is coming up to a resistance, so I'm already biased saying I'm looking for a short position. When we see price coming up to a resistance and we see something like this where we're printing lower highs, rejecting off that resistance, and then we see something like this, okay, where money flow is starting to cross from the green into the red at a resistance, this is now our signal. Yes, we're coming down. We're coming down. This is our signal to enter the short right here. And the way you're going to enter the short is, because remember, we came to the resistance and now Market Cipher is telling us, guys, we're coming down. We have a money flow crossover here. Clear direction downwards. We would set the short position right here when we get that money flow crossover, which happens right about here. We set our stop loss above that last swing high. And then we set our take profit levels down here at we set our take profit levels down here at our previous supports, okay, at our previous supports. And of course we take profit out along the way, but what do you know? Lo and behold, we come down and we hit all our take profits, right? And you would take some profit out here. You'd probably take some profit out here. The way I like to take profit, guys, is I look to the past and I see where did price find the sticking point on the lower time frame. So on the 3-minute time frame, I can see that this orange line here was a support and then a resistance and then a support and then a support and then a resistance. So I'd look to take some profit out here. And what do you know? When we come down to this orange line, we get a sticking point, right? It acts as a support and then a resistance and then a resistance again and then a support again. Right? That's how you're going to, this is a very simple trading strategy that you can use to trade these sideways markets. And if we come right now to where we're at, right, we can see that something very similar is kind of happening where if I go to my other Bitcoin chart, right, the one that I had up at the beginning of the stream, we can see that we came up to a resistance. What happens? We're struggling at the resistance. We get the money flow crossing over, okay? You could enter a short position right here. Or even now, we getting the money flow crossing over again. You could enter a short position somewhere in here. You could set your stop loss up here. You could set it above this swing high. And you set your take profits down here. And the thing about these trade setups is the fact that, you have a very clear place where price is where your trade becomes invalidated, right? Because right now we're assuming that we're rejecting off of a resistance, right? This is the assumption of the trade. And so if we come back and we reclaim this resistance as support, we know we need to get out of the trade because we were wrong that we're coming down, rejecting off the resistance. Okay? But in general, that's what you're going to be looking for. Of course, you have to look across multiple time frames, right? You cannot just look at one time frame. But in general, if we're coming up to a resistance and we start to print lower highs, right, like we're doing here, lower highs, this is where you want to look for a short position. And you would take profit on the way down. And the way you set your take profits is you go down to the lower time frames, maybe the 5 minute, maybe the 6 minute, and you say, okay, where is price found that sticking place? You know, the first place I can kind of see is right here. And, you know, the second place maybe right here. And then you would set a final take profit down at this trend line, which, you know, a lot of times we will retest the trend line before we continue to the upside. You know, on the 6 minute time frame, we can see momentum coming down, right? We're printing lower waves on the 6 minute, right? We are getting we had right here the bearish divergence. So that's how you're going to do it, y'all. That's how you're going to do it. Let me pop back into the chat real quick. And see what we got going on in here. Shout out to Ivan. Ivan says, can you have too many support or resistance lines? My screen looks really messy. Yes. What I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm only using lines that are pertaining to my current trading range. So I will really start with, you know, just a few, right? I will start with the dailies, the weeklies, and the ones that I think are most important, high volume nodes, and I will work around those. I will find the areas with the most confluence, and I will use those. Okay, and then I only use the smaller term support and resistance lines if, for example, I am looking for take profits. Okay, so this is the 6 minute time frame. The 6 minute time frame. And so why do I have an orange line right here? Well, because I can see that this was a sticking point back in the past. So I will take some profit out of the short here. And then again, down here, I can see this was a sticking point in the past, so I would look to take some profit out of the short, right there, you know. Aditya Varshni, can I show all my trades right now? Okay, so my open trades right now, guys, are this. I am long on Bitcoin from 32K. I'm short on Bitcoin. This actual trade right now, I've been shorting on Bitcoin since about 58.8, 59K. This short is from a lower entry right now because I had to close out that other trade. I did it by accident. And instead of adding to my position, I just opened a new trade. So this is short from, where's that? I forget where it's short from, guys. And then this is my Ethereum short, which is up, you know, 733%. These are my open trades right now. All of them are in profit. All of them have the profit locked in, so they cannot be losing trades. The stop loss is in profit. Those are my current open trades. So guys, if you want to learn this stuff in more detail, if you want to learn technical analysis in more detail, and learn how to really find these key levels that are going to really give you those good trade entries, check out jasoncaspertrading.com. This is the comprehensive trading course that will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader, where we go into detail showing you how to find these levels, how to use volume, how to use Fibonacci, how to use moving averages to find those levels where you can expect a really strong price reaction off of, right? Because that's what we want. We want to be able to mark these levels so that we can expect a really strong price reaction off of those levels. That's what we want, right? That's how we're going to be able to find those good trades. Like, for example, you know, in the Discord, you know, we longed from right down here. How do we know to long here? Well, because we had this as a level marked out. And so when price gets here, we look for a reaction. We know we're going to get the reaction off of that level. We're waiting for it. And when it happens, we can look at Market Cipher and see what Market Cipher is telling us. Boom. We enter the long right there. Or like this right here, right? A short. Why did we enter short at 42K? Because it was our level of resistance. And we knew it was our level. And then, boom, we enter the short once we get the confirmation of lower lows. And what do you know? What do you know? You get a massive, massive candle coming down right there. Yeah, so check out jasoncaspertrading.com. I will drop a 17% discount in the chat right now. 17%. Usually costs $300. Give you 17% off. The code is I love y'all. That's the code. Shout out to Elon Musk, who's upset that I shorted. Elon Musk, I know you tried to tweet, bro, to get me wrecked. All right? I know you tried to cheat to get me wrecked. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm a trader, so I will make money on the way up and on the way down. What leverage do I use? That's 10x leverage right now. 10x right now. Shout out to everybody who is saying hold, hold, hold. Yeah, you know, we might just want to. We might just want to hold. It really depends. It really depends. Depends on a lot of things, guys. How did I gain more than 100%? The way you gain more than 100% is you use leverage. You use leverage. If you use higher leverage, the percentage will go up, right? So if the Bitcoin price goes up 3% and you're using 10x leverage, you just got 30% on your trade there. That's how. Elon Musk. I'm surprised you don't know this, since you are into tweeting the market up and down, bro. What leverage do I use? It depends. It really depends on the situation. I'm using leverage to fit my risk management strategy. MD Manier says the coupon code is not working. Here's the thing. You have to type it in by hand. You cannot copy and paste it. Could give you an error. Okay, so the title of the video is 23K Bitcoin. Why am I talking about a $23,000 Bitcoin? Well, let me show you. Let me show you. Is this my real chart right here? Yeah, this is my real chart. Okay, let's talk about why I'm talking about potential 23% BTC. Let's go to the daily. Let's zoom out here. These are lines I don't want on my chart right now. Okay, so you guys know, like what I just demonstrated, where I'm marking out levels of support and resistance. When we come down to the $23,000 level, okay, first of all, if we lose the low of the January range right here at about 30K, a little bit less than 30K, 28 something, I think we came down to 28.7. Then we have 2 points of support that are going to give us a potential bounce. The first area of support is $26,000. The reason that is a support is because we can just look and clearly see it's a daily level of support right here, right? Price found a sticking point. If we turn on our volume indicator, we can also see it's a high volume node right in there. And then also, if we just pull out our fib from the Corona dump, all the way to the all-time high, we can see it's the 618 retracement of the entire bull run, okay? So for those of you who are unfamiliar with how Fibonacci works, Fibonacci is basically going to give us the measurement, the percentage of a move. So when price moves, it's not ever going to go straight up like this, right? It's going to come up and then retrace, and then up and then retrace, and then up and then retrace. And when price retraces, we can use Fibonacci to find the bounce and also project our targets. It's a very useful tool to find the bounce and project our targets. And the way you're going to do it is you're going to pull it from a swing low. It's going to be over here. Okay, fib retracement. You're going to pull it from a swing low to a swing high. And you will see that, let me turn off some of these support and resistance levels here, guys, so that we can have a cleaner chart just for the Fibonacci's sake. Just for the Fibonacci's sake. There we go. These levels are going to give us areas where price is going to get a reaction off of, right? It's going to give us levels where price will get a reaction. And the most common levels for price to get a reaction is the 382, the 0.5, and the 618. The 618 is known as the golden ratio, and this usually we get a very powerful reaction off of here. Now, this is just measuring percentage of the initial move upwards. So if we're saying that this whole thing is 100% of the move, how deep is the retracement? Well, if we come down to the 0.382, that's 38% of the initial move upward. If we come down to the 0.5, that's 50% of the initial move upward. So, we've gotten that 50% correction right now. And then if we come down to the 618, that means we've gotten a 61.8% correction. And each one of these fib levels will act as a level of support, okay? A level of support. And so what we are going to do is we're going to look, okay, when price comes to one of these fib levels, we're going to look for a reaction. So what do you know? Price comes down to the 0.5 fib level, what do we get? A bounce. Price comes up to the 382 level, what do we get? A rejection. Comes back down to the 0.5, we get a bounce. And we can use these levels to find those bounces and stuff. And so if we lose, the low of this range that I was pointing out earlier in the beginning of the stream, right? This range that we were trading in, the next level of support for us is this golden pocket down here, the 618, where I would be looking for a bounce here. Okay, I'd be looking for a bounce from this area. The next level would be the $23,000 level. And this is a daily level of support, okay? And it's also a high volume area. We can see that price has found a sticking point here. So if we fall through the 618, then this would be the next level where we can expect to find support. This would be the next level where we expect to find support. People are looking for the discount code for the course. Let me drop it in here again. It's this. I love y'all. Because I do. I do love y'all. I love y'all. And also, guys, if you don't have Market Cipher and you want to get a sweet 5% discount, let me drop that in the description as well. Market Cipher, a great indicator. Boom. Yeah, Ethereum did break above the resistance level. I'm the Walrus says, yep, you're right, bro. You're right. And if you're the Walrus, that's pretty cool too. There's other reasons why the $23,000 level is a level I'm keeping my eyes on. More than just the fact that it's a daily level. It's also, if we pull a fib from the dump that we had in November, right? We had a dump in November right here, okay, November 26th. If we pull a fib from there to the all-time high, we can see that, I'm sorry, I was wrong about that. I was wrong. I thought that was a, I thought it was a fib level, but I guess it's not. I guess it's not a fib level. I forget why, but I know there's other Confluence here, and I went over it in my VIP stream earlier today, and I'm not going to get into it right now. But that's why I think we could potentially see that level. And if we're just objective, looking at this, we are in a downtrend, right? Until we're able to really come above the 38K level, we are just printing lower lows and lower highs. So really for me, until we're above 42K, 42K is a critical support. I'm sorry, a critical resistance for us. Because if we can come above 42K, that means we are officially now out of the downtrend and in the uptrend, right? If we can break above that. And 38K right now is the immediate resistance that we need to come out of. 38K is the immediate resistance that we need to come out of. And if we can break that 38K, then that's also very bullish in my mind. That's also very bullish. And you know, we're consolidating here to see what's going to happen, right? I mean, to see what's going to happen. You could say that we broke out of this bull flag or whatever this thing is, this wedge, and are currently getting a retest on it right now. I don't know. I am not trading this, but I would say that objectively, if I was going to be looking for a trade here, it would definitely be the short. It would definitely be the short because we're at multiple resistances and we're printing the lower lows and the lower highs. But I'm currently not in that position. I am long and I am short, but not from these areas. I am long and short from different places. All right, so let us drop into the chat here and see if we have any questions. See if we have any questions. Guys, if we can get this video up to 1,000 likes, I will give away the course for free. I mean, we only have 700 people in here, but let's see if we have any questions. Lewis asks, can we just use fib retracement to trade levels instead of manually entering lines of support or resistance, or do you have to use both? That's a great question. So what you need to do is you need to find Confluence, okay? What I like to do is I like to find Confluence, where I like to see that we are indeed getting a level of hand-drawn support and resistance, right, that you draw with your hand by eye, and then you're finding that is lining up with a fib level. So a great example of that is in the private Discord here, I posted this this TA update, right, this super sloppy chart. And I'm highlighting the $40,000 level as an important level of resistance to look for a short off of, right? Anywhere between like 40 and 42. And what I was doing was, you could see I have this line drawn right here, this yellow line drawn of a level that I drew with my eye. But I have on this chart, I have 4 fibs pulled out, right? 4 fibs pulled out, and I'm noticing that all of them are giving us a level at this area, right? All of them are giving us a level at this area, and that's called finding confluence. You want to find things that are all pointing to that same level, and the more things you can find that point to a level, the stronger that level will be, and the stronger that level will be, the more you can expect a reaction. The more you can expect a reaction off of that. So yeah. Do I give targets in my VIP streams, and how often? In the stream, yes, in the stream I do. Yes, absolutely. We're looking for swing trade setups, right? And then in the Discord, if I'm entering a position, I will post it in here as well. Like the last one I posted was Friday. It's currently Monday. I think because the 1 hour is giving us that downward momentum, that's why really when you're looking for a short, guys, when you're looking for a short, like the short we're in right now, but this is a hypothetical short, right? Because this is one I was hypothetically entertaining at the beginning of the stream, right? What you want to do is when we're coming up to a resistance, okay, let's put on our resistance right here, our 38K resistance. If I can find it. Okay, here it is, our 38K resistance. We're coming up to a 38K resistance, right? And you're seeing that the 1 hour is printing a red dot up here, okay, you can be pretty sure that we're coming down. We're coming down. At least a little. You're going to be able to get a scalp out of here. And, you know, just this entry, which wasn't even the best entry. You know, you could have gotten a nice 1.72% so far out of this. And there's a good chance that we're going to come down more, right? There's a good chance that we're going to come down more from this as well. Because the 1 hour is still printing that top. Look at this. The 2 hour is about to print a top, guys. The 2 hour is about to print a top. Shout out to Matt Shadell, who says this guy has no idea what he's talking about. Shout out to you, my bro. I appreciate you. Everybody, go over to Matt Shadell's channel. In fact, I will go there now. Let's see. Can I go to your channel? Do you have a channel? I don't know. Go over to his channel for some real TA, guys. If you want somebody who knows what they're talking about, go check out Matt Shadell. Yeah, he's a cool guy. Totally a cool guy. 100% cool guy. There used to be a way to actually look at people's channels from here, but I don't see it now. I don't see it. But Matt, let's pin your message in here, bro. Let's pin your message so everybody knows that I have no idea what I'm talking about here. There we go. There we go. Is that a bullish divergence on the 2 hour for Bitcoin? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I would not call that a bullish divergence because momentum is coming down with the price. Momentum is coming down with the price. I would not call that a bullish divergence. But what I would say is, you know, the money flow is coming up on the 2 hour. So if we can get a money flow crossover, right? And if we can print a green dot, like if we come and print a green dot here and the money flow starts to cross over on the 2 hour, that would be really nice. And that could really break us through the resistances that we're trying to come above. But in the meantime, somebody asks, is this a good time to enter a short right now? Aditya asks, right now, I would not be entering a short right this second. I would not. I would have entered a short up here, right? But if you enter a short right now, your entry would have to basically be this, right? You'd have to enter right here, and you'd have to set your stop loss, you know, up above here. And in my mind, that's just risking too much. That's risking too much, right? We've already got a significant move to the downside, almost 2% move. So now you have to risk 2%. I just don't think that's objectively a good entry. I just don't think that. I don't think that's objectively a good entry. But if you're willing to take that risk, then you know, do your TA and come up with a plan. Like that's the best advice I can give anybody. Do your technical analysis and come up with a plan. How do you enter the VIP stream, says Mark? You become a Patreon, patreon.com/Jason Casper. Shout out to Admiral from Romania, who says the course is awesome. Assad Chaudhry wants to know when to take an entry. The way you're going to find your entries is you're going to wait for price to come to a level that you've marked out using technical analysis, and then you are going to use Market Cipher for confirmation. That's what I do. That is what I do. Okay, and so right now, this hypothetical short position, right, we waited for price to come up to the 38K resistance. We're getting the red dot on Market Cipher B on the 1 hour. The lower time frame is also giving us confirmation of lower, coming down lower, right? The money flow is crossing to the red. That's why we That's why we enter. We come up to the resistance, lower lows, lower highs, money flow crossing over. That's how you do it. Charles says another false bull by whales or just a legit breakout. Here's the thing. I don't. I mean, I know the markets are manipulated, guys, but it's like you don't have to be concerned about that. You do not have to be concerned about that at all. You just do your technical analysis, okay? Regardless of whether this is a real or fake breakout, doesn't even matter. Look, we're coming up to a resistance. Forget about the whales. Forget about market manipulation. Say, okay, we're coming to a resistance. What does that mean? If we're at a resistance, wait, Julian Barlow, is that true? About he mentioned something about chickens drinking water, because that's hilarious if that's true. If you're at a resistance, it doesn't matter. If you shouldn't be thinking, is this a real or a fake breakout? It's a real breakout. Why? We broke above a resistance. That's the definition of a breakout. But now we're coming up to another resistance. What's going to happen at this resistance? Well, there's a really good chance we're going to reject off of a resistance. That's what resistances do. They cause us to reject. And so your bias should be, I'm looking for a short. And we come up to the resistance. What do you see? You see a high. You see a lower high. You see a lower high, right? Then you get a retest. And we're unable to break that resistance again. Market Cipher B is giving us the money flow curving from the green into the red. The higher time frame on Market Cipher B is showing us that we've come to a top, right? That we need to cool off a little bit. These are signs that you should short. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, dang, those dang whales are driving the price back down after a fake breakout. They just broke it out so that they can bring it back down. I don't really think we need to focus on that too much as we just need to focus on We've done our TA. We've marked out our levels of support and resistance. We know that when price gets to one of those levels, we're going to have a reaction. And we're looking at Market Cipher to confirm the direction, right? If we're getting to a resistance and Market Cipher is giving us one of these red dots up above the 60 line, we're not going to break that resistance, y'all. We're not. We're going to come down. That's just how it works. Don't try and overcomplicate it. So is that true, Julian Barlow, that Matt Schaudel entered a 50x long at 38K, and he mentioned something about chickens drinking water? Or are you talking about me? Because I entered a long at 32K, but I did not use 50x leverage. Oh, okay, just joking. Cool. How do you long and short at the same time? Somebody asks. That's a really good question. How do you long and short at the same time? What you're going to do is you are going to open up 2 Bybit accounts or more. Okay. Oh, Brittany Millery wants to know what's the pinned comment. Oh, Matt Schaudel, he says that I don't know what I'm talking about. And so I wanted everybody to know where they can find some real TA if anybody was interested. Matt Schaudel, shout out to him, the official financial advisor of the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Okay, I am not offering financial advice, but Matt Schaudel definitely is offering financial advice, guys. He definitely is, for sure. Yeah, I'll unpin that comment now. Yeah, I'll unpin it. So you're going to have 2 accounts, okay? This is pretty cool. This is the first time I've actually ever done a trade on a non-private stream. That's a pretty good trade right here, right? You're going to have 2 accounts, okay? One of them is going to be for longer term trades, and one of them is going to be for shorter term trades. So for this trade right here, right? This is my Bitcoin short, and I'm short on Bitcoin from somewhere, Not quite sure where. Whoa. Whoa, trade alert, blasting my ears off. Is that true? Is that a true alert? Ethereum is now printing the red dot. No, it's not. Not yet, but Ethereum is getting a money flow crossover on the 1 hour. That's a pretty good sign. Yeah, shout out to Stefan. Says Bitcoin's looking potentially bullish. Yeah, you know, Bitcoin is looking bullish. You know, and okay, so here's a great point. Why would you have two accounts? Let's say that you had entered long right here. Okay, you enter long right here, and you still want to hold your long. And but you see a really great opportunity to short right here because we're coming up to a resistance. We're getting a clear rejection. Market Cipher is telling us we're coming down, and you say, okay, I'm going to hold this long still because it looks like we just need to cool off a little bit. We're going to print another trigger wave right here. The money flow is going to cross over on the hour. We're going to break through the resistance, but before we do that, we need to cool off a little bit. So instead of just holding only your long, right, and let's say you're taking profit along the way up, you made like a nice 24% move. Well, now you can make that 24% plus you can make on the way down another, how much have we made so far on this? Another 2.34%, right? You can do another scalp right here while you're still in your long. And that's exactly what I'm doing with two accounts. So this Bitcoin short up 300%, you know, this is short from a much higher place. And until we break the downtrend, until we're over that 42K level, I don't see any reason to exit this short because we're still technically in a downtrend. But I saw a good opportunity to take a long on Bitcoin, getting a nice bounce off of those lower levels. So, okay, I'm going to stay in my short because I have no reason to close it. But from another account, I'm going to enter a long because I see a good opportunity to long. And right here, you know, I saw a good opportunity to take a short. And what do you know? We're coming down. And so if I had three accounts, I could be long and short and long. Short and long and short. Shout out to Ronald Thompson. Ronald Thompson, who says, bought your course recently. Appreciate the way you explain things, sir. If I want to enter the world of longs and shorts, can you recommend a VPN? You know, I just use this VPN right here, VPN Plus. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Bybit is super chill. Shout out to AmKalukX, who says, if you're scalping on the 1 minute, what time frames would you draw support and resistance lines on? The same on the higher time frames, and I would especially look for a scalp when we get to those lower time frames. But you know, you gotta. When scalping is a different animal, okay? Scalping is a different animal. If I was scalping on the 1 minute, I would be looking at this level here, and I'd be saying, okay, this is a level of resistance I need to keep a very close eye on. And of course, we reject right off of it. And then, you know, I would mark out this level here as a support, okay, because we're on the 1 minute time frame. And then if we come down to here, when we come back down to the support that we drew back here, look, it's a support once, twice. We enter our short, we come down to the support. You could close out your short if you wanted to and enter a long because Market Cipher is printing a bottom on the 1 minute. You could scalp that, okay? I mean, it's tough to do, right? But then you could say, okay, look, there was this level right here. We found resistance. So when I see that we're longing the support, I'm going to take the profit out at the resistance right here. And then you could enter another trade. You know, that's I do not trade like that, guys. I do not scalp like that. Shout out to TJB Web Media over here, who says this has been fascinating. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, stick around. Stick around, TJB. Learn some good stuff. And TJB, you know, if you are interested in learning more about this, check out jasoncaspertrading.com, man. This will give you the tools that you need to become a profitable trader. And I even teach you strategies that I currently use with great success, so that right out the gate you have a place to start. And TJB, I'll give you a nice little discount code. This will give you 17% off. 17% off. How long do I do trading TA? I usually do it like about an hour a day. I do more so on the More so on in the beginning of the week. More so in the beginning of the week. Yes, Theo, the 3-minute, 30-minute combo does work really good. Matthew wants to know what's the difference between the course and Patreon. Patreon is only the Discord. The course is only the course. Unfortunately, Mohammed, you cannot pay with USDT, only Bitcoin and fiat currency. Fiat currency. And look at this. You can tell we're coming down more on the 1-minute time frame here because we're about to curve and print another red wave right here. Here we come. Here we come. We're going to drip down, guys. We're going to drip down. Just kidding. We're getting a huge bounce here. All right. All right. Is Bitcoin dipping? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because we came up to a resistance and we rejected off of it. And the Market Cipher is clearly telling us we're coming down, guys. Look at this. It cannot get more clear than this. Cannot get more clear than this on the 2-hour. Cannot get more clear. What is the next support level for Bitcoin if we're coming down? I would say this trend line right here. So that would put us at about 35.8. But really, I'd say 35. 35 for sure. This would be my next level right here, this 35. And if we lose 35, then, then I'm looking at 32. If we lose 32, I'm looking at 29. If we lose 29, 26. If we lose 26, 23. And really, guys, the fact that we're rejecting off of this resistance is just confirming the fact that we're still in the downtrend. We're still in the downtrend. And if you're looking for an entry here, I don't see a good entry right now. I don't see a good entry right now. If you're using Market Cipher to try and catch the wave and you're looking to enter short, wait until the wave comes up and then crosses back down. And if we print a red trigger wave here, confirmation that we're coming down lower. How low are we going? Potentially down to 23. Potentially down to 23. Shout out to Luis Rivera. Shout out to Mohammed Hussein. How do you guys get the membership? The way we do it is you go to patreon.com/JasonCasper. It's in the description of the video. Yes, I am going to be adding more content to the course eventually. I have actually been. There's more content there now than there originally was. John Hines says, realistically, how low is Bitcoin going? Well, realistically, here's the realistic truth. If we lose 35K, we're coming down to the supports. Ugh, excuse me, guys. If we lose 35K, we're coming down to those supports. Shout out to Lil Dump. Oh yeah, I'm sorry for scratching the beard, guys. Am I scratching the beard? If we lose 35K, we're coming down to the lower levels. And if we lose the 618 of the entire move up, which is 26K, then the next support would be 23K. Until we come above 38K and 42K, we are in the downtrend. We need to treat it like a downtrend, because it is. It is a downtrend, y'all. It is a downtrend. Krasovsky, I love you very much. I love you very much. Yeah. Yes, I do. All right, guys. Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button. If we can get this stream up to 1,000 likes, I will give away the course for free. We got 800 people in here. Let's get this thing up there, But the reality is, guys, I've been on here for an hour, and I have to get going because I'm a farmer, and I have some important farm stuff to do. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever actually done a trade in my live stream. That's not a VIP trade. And if anybody actually did take this, I did not take this, by the way, because I'm already long and short. But if anybody did take this, that's a pretty nice Pretty nice move right there. It's a pretty nice move right there. Shout out to Ivan. What would be the best? Oh, Creepy Joe in the chat. My man Creepy Joe holding it down from the Casablanca. Shout out to Tarun. Thank you. Says I make a lot of sense. Shout out to Creepy Joe, my man. Ivan, what would be the best time frames to confirm a breakout or resistance rejection accurately? Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to find confluence between multiple time frames, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to wait for price to get to your level, okay? Then once price gets to your level, you're going to look at the higher time frames first, okay? The 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 3 hour. Okay, we come up to our level, right? We're touching our resistance. And what is the 2 hour showing us? Is the 2 hour, as we're touching this resistance, is it looking like we're going to keep going, or is it looking like we're going to print a red wave and come down? Then come down to the 1 hour. Oh, okay, we're touching the resistance, and we actually are literally about to print the red dot. Okay, looks like we're coming down on the higher time frames. Now we go to the lower time frames. And on the lower time frames, we get even more confluence. On the lower time frames, we can see we're coming up to the resistance. We're printing lower highs, lower high, lower high. Money flow is crossing over from the green into the red. This would be the signal to enter the trade, right? Not all the time are we going to get a retest like this, okay? This was a little fake out here. But really, you know, when you see that money flow starting to cross, and when you see the market cipher printing those lower momentum waves, that's your signal to enter short. And you're going to enter short, and trust me, there's going to be some volatility at the beginning, but once the 2 hour and the 1 hour start printing these dots, the red dot, like once the 2 hour prints the red dot, I mean, we're going to get a significant move to the downside. That's just how it always works. Look at what happens. The 2 hour prints the dot here, we come down. We print the dot here, you know, we come down. We print the dot here, we come down. We print the dot here, and we come down. And it's like, the thing is, it's not guaranteeing that we're going to keep coming down. But when we're printing this red dot, I mean, we had, you know, a massive move to the downside during those 2 hours. During those 2 hours, we came down 7%. And that's why you need to take profit on your way out of the trade as well, right? As when you're in profit, take your profit, because we don't know how far down we're going to come. We don't know how far down we're going to come. And that's why I don't advise just entering a short after the fact, right? If you miss the move, you miss the move. If you miss the move, you miss the move. TLC says we're going to reach 39.5 in no time. My dude, you know, I hope you're right, man. I really hope you're right. That would be nice. That would be nice. Yes, the wave here looks like it has a flat top. That's why we're going down to lower time frames to see what's about to happen, right? On the 2 hour. All right, guys. Appreciate all of you for being here. May the Lord bless all of you. In the name of Yeshua, in the name of Jesus, the Messiah. Thank you, James, for reminding me to feed the chickens. Yeah, so, okay, Christopher wants to know, do I have an ultimate take profit for my short? Yeah, 23K is where I will close that short. Alec Davies is short. Creepy Joe, you have a great day, man. Hold down the country for us. You know, don't let us plebs get out of control, bro. Hold it down. You know, flex for us all. Yes. All right, guys. So receive this blessing in the Hebrew language. In the Hebrew language, receive this blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, which means in English, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace in the name of Jesus the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, the God of Israel. Amen. And I do pray that all of you are blessed, and I will see y'all in the next stream. Peace, peace, peace.